Hey guys, it's Mike with another Guild Guardians video, spotlight video for Kriez. Kriez. We're going with Kriez. I don't know. He's an Umbra Strength Imperial Warrior. Got him total power up here at 504. We got him set up in the gear. Being a warrior, again, he's going to be kind of good at every category, but great at none. We don't have any of the pieces of gear actually matching his Umbras, which is unfortunate. On the boots, we do have him in defense boots, which for a warrior, if you find him dying first, it might not be a bad choice. Put him in defense or HP. If you find that they're not dying first, it'd probably be best to have them in attack and get a little more damage out of them. I guess it depends on the warrior, but most warriors would probably benefit from having a little extra attack. We got some extra attack over here with the crossbow, so that should help us out there. And then let's take a quick peek at his skills. So his ultimate ability is a single target. It's charge. Attack the nearest enemy 4 times, with each dealing 60% of attack as physical damage. And the last dealing 150, jumping all the way up to 265 of physical damage and causing knockback. So this could be one of those where you pair him with an Atticus with those landmines behind the character. They're going to get a little extra. He is going to hit them pretty hard as well, so this could be a like a one hit and kill kind of situation, but it is a single target. So kind of like we saw with Telva, I mean, you can pick them apart one by one, but if you're not moving through quick enough, it's hard to sop up all that damage. So his next ability is Phantom Self. It's a balancing ability. He summons a phantom that has 30% of his attack, 50% of his defense, 50% of his HP, and lasts for 10 seconds. So it's basically just an extra person, kind of like Tuskraw's wolf, that's going to be there to just help out, and it looks like do a little bit of damage and also just spread out the damage coming in. And then his passive ability is Shadow Shield. When attacked, have a 10% chance to gain a shield equal to 10% of his max HP that lasts up to 10 seconds. So every time he takes on damage, he has the potential 10% of getting a shield of 10% of his max HP. So that being said, looking back at his gear, instead of going defense on the boots, it might make sense to go HP, try to push his max HP up so that shield is a little bit bigger. But we're going to grab him, we're going to run into the Great Forge and see how he does. Alright, so we are on to that first room here. He is an Umbra, so he should have neutral affinity against Cinder. There shouldn't be any issues there. We're going to go ahead and get into the fight and see how he does. We got 2 times off, so we are doing auto battle. Looks like he's absorbing damage here. So he does have his Phantom here. His Phantom actually got stunned, so that was kind of funny. So it basically took that stun away from him so he could keep doing damage. So that was really actually pretty effective. He also got out of there with basically full health. So I'm not sure. I didn't see if he got the shield that time or not. So we can take a peek at that shield. Also didn't notice that he did his ultimate where he charged the enemy either. So he brought in his double there. Trying to see here if we see the shield gain. He's absorbing the damage, so the absorption might be the shield. Oh well, he's got a green around him, so he's got the shield going. So that was the one hit of his ability. So that was the ultimate there. I'm not sure because he hits him 4 times, and the last hit is the one that does the majority of the damage. So he's going to come into the next battle with his ultimate. I'd say he's moving through here pretty quickly, doing pretty well. But ultimately he's just not taking any damage, which is kind of impressive. So we are on into that third fight. So we're going to get this going here and see how he does. He's basically topped off for health. He's coming right in with his charge ability. So it's kind of subtle. You don't really notice it, but he hits that enemy 4 times and then hits him really hard. I think they're the ones there with a real low life bar right there going on. Bringing in his Phantom. The Phantom is taking on a lot of that damage, so it's taking that off of Kriez himself, which is pretty good. He's taking some stuns here, but he is actually kind of tanking up a lot of damage here. I almost feel like on the warrior front, you have the warriors that are a little attack heavy. You've got the warriors that are a little bit defensive heavy or tank heavy or support heavy. He kind of feels like he's kind of leaning towards tank. He doesn't do a lot of damage, although if you built him with attack boots, he probably could. although I kind of like him up front as almost a 2-tank kind of setup. That being said, I do think there's tanks that probably would do more damage than he's doing. He does seem to be a pretty decent option, especially early to mid game. I think you'd probably move into other folks that are just a little bit better over time. As we take a look at his value out there in the token trove, he's at $1.44, which is pretty low. Although it looks like he just sold. Now he's at $1.83. I'm not sure what just happened. I guess this is the suggested retail price or whatever the case is. But so he's at $1.83 to $2. He's kind of right in that average spot for an epic. You do get fragments of him over time, so there's going to be quite a few of him in the game, and there's not going to be really any limit as far as how many that are coming in. You see the warrior version of him here is kind of cool. Got the elite version, and we got a couple champion versions here. Somebody upgraded their champion. They want $1,100 for this champion. There's 2 of them in the game, so that's pretty interesting as far as that goes. But it'd be kind of interesting to see over time how those champions play out, or the champion version of the characters as far as their market. But I feel like that's probably what I got for you on Kriez today. I mean, I think he's a good option in the warrior category. He's not going to do a bunch of damage. I do think Palmera is going to be a better choice overall, but he does seem to be tankier than she is, but she does more damage. So it just kind of depends on what you need. I do think that there's going to be tanks such as Tuskrog that are going to do more damage than him and probably be tankier, as well as probably Ickham would probably be another one that would do more damage because he's got some AoE abilities, as well as Tuskrog's AoE ability. But he's not a bad choice early on when you're starting out. If you end up with him and like a Telva just getting started, he will do some work for you, picking those enemies apart at the front line, and then also just tanking up a little extra damage with his summoned self. What is it? His phantom self. So that's kind of a fun piece of it, but I do think you will replace him pretty quickly as you get better options. He doesn't have any healing in his kit, so I definitely would pair him up with a Flix, a Quirus, or a Ferulia. And I think on the gear front, with that shield in mind, I think going to HP boots would be the right move for him, just so that when he gets that 1 out of 10 times getting attack gets his shield will be worth a little more. So I think that's pretty much what I got for Kriez. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it interesting. I appreciate you spending the time with me today, and I look forward to seeing you next time.